Welcome to Sam Houston High School. Tonight, the Texans take on the Weatherford Kangaroos in a District 4 6A matchup. Hi again, everyone. John Nelson with Jim Staples, our AISD crew from Sam Houston. The Texans overall at 7-10, Weatherford at 7-13. The defending district champion North Crowley Eagles with a 2-game lead over Martin with 2 games to play. Bowie in third, and Lamar right now holding down the 4th spot. And a big game tonight for Sam Houston. They have 2 left, and a win tonight would sure look good as they chase Lamar for that 4th place spot. Weatherford comes in averaging 56 points a game. It'll be Banks, Scoggin, Huang, Buckley, and Guest. 3 seniors and a couple of juniors. For Weatherford, they're guided by Charles Tatum. Weatherford coming off a 68-47 loss to North Crowley. Sam Houston coming off a 44-41 win over Pascal. The Texans averaging 48 points a game. A team that just missed the playoffs last year. Coach Charles Tatum looking on for the visiting Weatherford Kangaroos. They won the first game 66-51 on January 15th. And we have an altercation in the crowd. We won't show it as a couple of policemen will escort somebody out of here. Hodge, Barfield, Irving, Washington, and Masadi, the starting 5 for Sam Houston. 3 seniors and 2 juniors. And they're guided by Chris LeGrand. Has to do a little housekeeping along the way. Chris in his 4th year. The Texans trying to get something going here. They have lost 4 of their last 5. So a little altercation of the crowd, a disturbance before tonight's game. But, Jim, it doesn't diminish what Sam has to do tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Winning tonight is really important, not only because it's senior night and, you know, the seniors playing here, and winning 2 out of 3 is really their goal, and one of those is North Crowley, and that's going to be a challenge. But, you know, I think it's a must-win tonight, John, here, without a doubt.
Weatherford again at 3-8 in district play. Sam Houston at 4-7. 2 games left after tonight for both of these teams. We're back with the opening tip and the start tonight from Sam Houston on AISD-TV. John Nelson back with Jim Staples. The starting 5 for Weatherford being introduced in their road blue with white numbers. Sam Houston in home white. And, Jim, the Weatherford boys team, they were wearing blazers. I guess they travel in blazers. They really look sharp as they watch the girls' game tonight.
Yeah, not only blazers, they're in ties. I mean, they look pretty sharp.
We welcome Jim Staples back to the halls of Sam Houston. In case you forgot, your fight song is printed on the wall. The words, along with the alma mater, are on the wall for you.
I know you must be kidding.
Texans, and their starting 5 of Hodge, Irving, Washington, Barfield, and Masadi. Earlier tonight, the Weatherford girls defeated Sam Houston, and there are the words to both the alma mater and the fight song and the long, tall Texan right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I definitely didn't forget the words, but you certainly don't want me to sing them either.
Just remember how it was. Chris LeGrand is about as full strength as he can have tonight. He's without 3 players, but still feels confident heading into this key district matchup at home.
Yeah, and I misspoke. It's not senior night for the boys. They still have another home game. It's more importantly like a playoff game, more so than anything, and that's what Coach LeGrand told us before the game, is that this is essentially the start of the playoffs for them. They've got to get it done tonight.
Sam just missed the playoffs last year. They finished 6-8. And in the center circle, we await the 2 combatants, and there they are. Masadi and number 5, Tyler Scoggin, and Sam Houston operates from right to left as they take control of it first. Underneath, waiting, and the miss by Barfield. Barfield had a pretty good look underneath and missed the bank here as this is batted away by Weatherford.
Yeah, Washington with just an outstanding pass, though, to get it down low to him.
Mateo Irving inbounds, and waiting is Marco Washington. He'll send it over to O.T. Hodge. Hodge underneath, and he misses. So a couple of misses early.
Yeah, but an early indication is that Sam Houston is going to be aggressive offensively. Two really good looks. Neither one go down.
Stinson got the feed from Guest, and wide open from 13, Scoggin misses. Outside with a 3, Lane Guest, and he's off the target.
And they had a couple of good looks as well.
Marco Washington, right side, back in the middle. Barfield down low, the shovel pass waiting, and Washington goes up and is hit hard a minute and 3 seconds deep.
Well, Buckley got all ball, but then on the way down, he got a good bit of the noggin of DeMarco Washington.
A 6-foot senior, and a couple of chances here for Sam Houston. Marco backs away about 6 inches, about a half a foot off the free throw stripe. Cans them both. And here's the second possession for Weatherford. Tony Banks, number 3. Banks around a pick set by Scoggin. Sends it outside. And an extra step and a travel. As Stinson turns it over.
Yeah, you think you have a opening down the lane and you get a little anxious, and Stinson put his foot down before he put the ball down.
Weatherford had a big half scoring-wise in that first meeting. Down low in the reach in as the ball came to Kelvin Masadi underneath.
Yeah, player control on Masadi. He got the pass, but just ran over the defender.
Weatherford jumped out to a 17-8 lead in that first quarter back on January 15th.
Scoggin had position, and Masadi just ran right over the top of him.
Sam Houston will have North Crowley and then Lamar to close out the regular season. The handoff to Lane Guest hits the bottom of the glass on the break, and the underhand scoop to the hoop by O.T. Hodge.
Oh, you're talking about getting down the floor in a hurry now. That is unbelievable.
And a 4-0 lead as Buckley gets his own missed shot. Outside for a 3, Tony Banks with a bomb.
Well, Chris LeGrand said his team needs to play with a lot of energy tonight. And I know it's very early in this game, but for the first 3 minutes of this one, they're playing with a high level of energy.
He's only got 4 on the bench.
That's going to be the key. Can they maintain this style for 4 quarters?
Washington able to step away from the double team. And the throwaway, a bad pass by Barfield. Banks misses the layup on the other end.
Yeah, one of the poor decisions offensively for Sam, but they get it right back.
James Barfield on the right hash mark. Steers it over to Hodge. Back inside to Barfield.
Oh, God.
Texans by 3. Banks, and then gets an arm block at midcourt from O.T. Hodge. To the bench, Josh Bolden, 6-foot sophomore guard in. Lane Guest at midcourt to dump it back in. And away from the ball, had an arm hook. And now they want Buckley to inbound.
Well, I think there's some chatter going on between Banks and Hodge, and they were trying to nip it in the bud as before it gets out of hand.
Guest able to get to it first. Outside for a 3. Scoggin had it blocked.
Well, Irving really climbed the ladder to knock that piece of that away.
Marco Washington stops. Now they go right side. Baseline in the corner for a 3. Irving misses.
Boy, Sam continues to really get looks offensively. They've had only one poor trip down the floor, but other than that, they've been doing exactly what they want to do.
Tony Banks outside from about 23. Grayson Stinson, that's his second three-point attempt. O.T. Hodge sends it to Marco Washington. 6-3 Texans on top again, 4-7 in district, averaging 48 points. Weatherford gives up 57 a game. Washington on the drive. Will it go in? It will not. Banks lead pass to Stinson. Lane Guest pulls up.
Nope.
In the corner, almost went in. Tony Banks. Fifth possession for Sam Houston. O.T. Hodge back in the middle. Bolden trying to get an extra step. He does and misses. Washington up high with a rebound. Turns underneath, finds an opening and misses.
Well, he tried to release it in midair on the rebound. He couldn't do that, so he tried to reverse and narrowly missed that one.
Under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Texans on top by 3. The bounce pass intercepted by Sam Houston. Here's Washington, and the layup missed. Got the nice feed from Bolden. Guest the other way. Wow. And Lane Guest, the 6'2 senior, with a couple of points and a timeout taken by Sam Houston as the Kangaroos narrow the gap, and the lead now just 1.
Well, I was about to say that Weatherford cannot run with this Sam Houston speed, but before I could get that out, Guest beat the foot race down at the other end for the lay-in.
Hodge, Washington, and Barfield have the first 6 points for Sam Houston. In that first game, Weatherford had 4 players in double figures. Guest, Stinson, Banks, and Scoggins all had double-digit games against Sam Houston. They were led by Mattia Worthing, who had 23.
Yeah, the problem with Sam in that game is they dug themselves a first-half hole that was very difficult for them to get out of, a 31-13 deficit. And they tried in the second half, but just never could close that gap.
And in the backcourt, the contact. Cody McClendon has come on for Weatherford, number 2, a 6'6 junior. And also Ty Huang, number 10. Sam Houston has inserted Jimmy Wynn at a guard, number 4. And here he is, gets a handoff to Washington. Working on Huang. Jimmy Wynn will try a 3 and miss. Washington able to get to it first. Winding down to 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Walter George, senior, also entered a guard. Inside they go, the turnaround miss by Bolden.
But another good offensive trip by Sam that they can't come away with points.
McClendon up top. Huang, penetration and scores. Ty Huang, 5'7 junior. And a basket and one, and now Weatherford has taken the lead.
Boy, just that first step was so explosive, and once he got around the defender, he was airborne well away from the basket.
And a chance for Sam to regain the lead. Jimmy Wynn. Washington, he may have stepped out of bounds. Nope.
I think he was held, looked like maybe Stinson on the hold.
Third team foul. Lane Guest back into the forward, number 52. Up high to Bolden. And Irving back with it to Jimmy Wynn. He misses. In traffic is Ty Huang.
Nice tap save by McClendon.
Banks to Huang. Under a minute. Intended underneath for McClendon. And the steal by Washington. And Marco underneath. And the arm block by Tyler Scoggin, team foul number 4 on Weatherford. And this will result in a 2-shot foul for Sam Houston's number 22, Marco Washington.
Weatherford defensively just really fell asleep and let Washington just get almost to the basket uncontested.
Drains the first. 3 for 3 tonight from the free throw line. Marcus Buckley, who started back in, number 34.
And allow a guy to dribble from the top of the circle all the way just outside the lane without being picked up at all, and that's what Washington had the opportunity.
And the tie's been broken as Sam regains the lead. With a half a minute to go, Lane Guest and a 3.
Second 3 by the Kangaroos.
Another lead change, 16 seconds to go. Josh Bolden to George with 6 seconds. With 3. And a 3 pumped in by Latia Irving. It's a 3 by Irving, the 6-foot junior. And that ends the first quarter. Sam Houston leading Weatherford 11-10 on AISD-TV. As we come back, the father of Chris LeGrand, former UTA basketball coach Snake LeGrand, Bob Snake LeGrand. There are too many stories.
Oh, he's a piece of work.
To have a favorite one with him.
Yeah, we go back a few years with him, huh?
Yes, a lot of road trips. This one broken up underneath. I know Snake, I know when it comes around Mardi Gras time, there's not a seafood place that he won't go to. Nice inbounds feed, and Cody McClendon was waiting for it.
Yeah, he came on the offside, got a pick, and was all alone, got the pass in midair and just gently dropped it in.
In other words, when the crawfish are brought in by the thousands, he's the first one there.
Those road trips to Louisiana prepared us well for those Cajun dishes.
Yeah, and the last one to leave. It's a 3. O.T. Hodge lights it up.
Sam's second 3.
14-12. Banks gets an opening. He split the defenders.
Well, that was just sheer power and just being able to squirm through that somehow.
Split the crease and scores. And a nice start to begin the second quarter for both teams. Looking underneath for Hodge. He's tied up. Finally gets to it. And then the handoff to Josh Bolden. And Bolden is hit hard.
Yeah, Weatherford a nice job of painting Irving in the corner there. He managed to squeeze out of it.
Washington goes left hand and misses. That was Weatherford's 15th foul. Buckley. And the bounce pass and the shot put up, and Bolden got him in midair, Cody McClendon. And McClendon will go to the line, the 6'6" junior. Weatherford 0 for 1 tonight in foul shooting. And Weatherford seizes a lead by 1. connects on both. Backcourt press. Bolden, right as soon as he got to midcourt. And then the whistle.
Not sure what's going on. The call came from across here, and I don't think it was a foul.
Well, they stopped play, and
yeah,
nothing has been indicated. Bolden feeds Hodge. Hodge deals back to Bolden to Washington. Washington backs away. Nice pressure by Huang, number 10. Wynn circles to the right. To Hodge, back to Jimmy. Will take the 18-footer just inside the three-point stripe.
Well, he got a little separation by jumping back on the jump shot, so no chance to block that one. A nice little effort by Wynn.
And a whistle on this near side, and a block. Charge to Weatherford, team foul number 6.
Weatherford crowd behind us getting on the official on that call.
It was a quick whistle. Bolden. And Marco Washington around Huang, pulls up from the dotted line and scores. His first from the field, his 6th overall point. On the other end, the miss by McClendon, but Banks saves it.
Yeah, they just beat Sam down the floor, and McClendon just couldn't get it to go, but this time it does.
And Banks, fronted by Irving, not only scores but is fouled.
Well, the benefit of second and third opportunities on the McClendon miss, and Banks now with a bucket and one chance.
We're tied at 18, and a timeout has been taken. It's a 30-second timeout. Tony Banks will be at the free throw stripe. Again, Weatherford came in averaging 56 in district play. Sam averaging 48 next to the last home game for the Texans. Weatherford closes out the regular season on Tuesday, February 16th. They'll host the Volunteers of Bowie. So they'll bring them back for the free throw with 5:15 to go in the half. Tyler Scoggin back in, number 5. So Banks will try to give the Roos the lead. Lines it up and sinks it. O.T. Hodge to win. Jimmy over Banks. Hits the front of the rim, just scraped the rim. In transition ahead to Banks. Trying to get it to Buckley and broken up. And in midcourt, Scoggin with a block as Huang saves it.
Nice effort by the Roos that time to keep it in play.
Lance Guest almost turned it over. In the corner.
Like the pass was bounced out of bounds.
Tony Banks trying to save it. And Sam Houston will have it with 4:34 to go in the first.
Yeah, unforced turnover by Weatherford gives it back to the Texans.
An opportunity here. Josh Bolden over to Washington. Intended for Irving and broken up.
Yeah, the steal out of the double team, which is what the Kangaroos have been doing consistently.
Banks lets it fly as that circles out. Washington gets penetration and scores over Scoggin.
Yeah, you can't give him a running start at the basket. He just finds a way to get it to the hole.
Lead change. The numbers are changing faster than the price of regular. Down to $1.49 now. Ty Huang misses a 3. Jimmy Wynn distributes left side to Irving. And, wow, got a hand check and something a little extra on Bolden, and they rule a tie-up.
Once again, Sam kind of gets themselves in a position of being pinned in on the double team, and probably fortunate that time, a tie-up, and they maintain possession.
There's Walter George, Kelvin Masati back in number 42. Sam leading, and they have the rock as they send it over to Walter George. Back to George. Washington, a jump pass on the outside, and the three-pointer rims out by Mateo Irving.
Not a bad shot, good look. A little bit of a pressure, but got to look at it.
Well, you're right. I mean, you can't question the shots that Sam has taken tonight.
No, offensively, really, both teams have played well. It's just been a matter of not being able to convert some of the baskets.
Air ball by Washington. They'll let it go. Lance Guest lets it go out of bounds with 2:49 to go in the half.
Yeah, that wasn't a great decision that time by Washington, but overall they've been pretty good. That was not one of them.
Charles Tatum across the way. Again, Weatherford will be in a new district next year with some of the Keller schools. They'll leave District 4 6A. Top of the key and a miss by Stinson.
Yeah, that's one that you've got to nail down more times than not.
Mansfield will replace Weatherford in District 4 6A next year. Masati misses from about 16. There's Buckley, and he walked with it. Couldn't come to a full stop.
Got his legs crossed, and he just was off balance when he caught that, and there was really just no way for him to maintain balance.
Masati now comes out, gets the handoff from Wynn. Winding down to 2 minutes. Walter George on Guest. Wynn on Buckley. And the handoff, nothing going for Irving. And taking charge is Walter George as he got a lead step and let it fly. And the foul, and that is the 7th committed by the Roos here in the half.
Overall, a pretty good defensive effort by Weatherford, but it was just Walter George finding just a narrow opening to exploit that and draw the foul.
Game number 18 on the year for Sam Houston. Game number 21 for Weatherford as George fills up the first of 2. O.T. Hodge back in at a guard. Chance to open up a three-point lead. Minute 45 remaining.
First miss by Sam from the line.
As Washington went for the steal.
Heck of a job, though, saving it between his legs.
Lance Guest, baseline behind the glass, hits the side of the glass.
Yeah, out of control, Guest. Off balance, no shot.
George deals to O.T. Hodge, and Hodge misses. Minute 12 left in the half.
You'd like to get a step or two inside of where Hodge let that one fly, but he had pressure and decided to pull the trigger anyway.
Tony Banks up top. Behind the back will take the 22-footer. And getting to it first, Masati and Scoggin. It's off of Scoggin, number 5. (21-19). Sam Houston with under a minute to go here in the half. It was 31-13 Weatherford at intermission in the first game. A lot of change. Underneath, Washington misses.
Boy, he had just, what an outstanding baseline move, though. He had just a narrow opening between the defender and the baseline, and a heck of an effort. Unfortunately, it didn't go down, but I tell you what, this guy has got some game and has got some really outstanding moves to the hole.
With 10 seconds. Banks and Scoggin both there. Banks almost lost it with 4 seconds. Underneath and misses with 2. And from about 55 feet, Washington gets a piece of the glass. And that is the end of the first half here at Sam Houston. Our score in this District 4 6A matchup, the Texans 21, the Kangaroos 19 on AISD-TV. As we get started for the second half here, Sam Houston on top by 2. It'll be Weatherford's ball to begin the second half. Lane Guest will dump it in play. Our final telecast on AISD-TV. It all started back on January 5th with Lake Ridge and Summit. And Stinson misses underneath. It goes out of bounds. And it'll be Sam's first possession in half number 2.
Well, I think both teams have got to do what they did in the first half. Obviously a close game, but it's just all a matter of some of those baskets converting.
And a turnover. Here's Lane Guest and can't catch up with it. And the Texans get it right back.
Well, Guest had to try to dribble around his back to avoid a collision and just never was able to control it from that point on.
Yeah, the whistle in the corner, just 34 seconds deep.
And you're hoping that this is going to be wide open like it was in the first half and it doesn't get too touchy-feely.
Irving off with a glass. And Sam scores first to begin half number 2. They outscored Weatherford 10-9 in that second quarter. Up high is Scoggin. Scoggin around Masadi and misses.
Yeah, pretty good defense by Masadi just to kind of lean into him.
Washington gets a handoff from Hodge.
Yeah, Sam looking to try to stretch this lead early here in the third. Very important start.
Intercepted at the top of the key by Stinson. And hands off to Banks, and he converts.
Almost stolen from behind, but got it to Banks in the nick of time in transition.
So a couple of points for each team here early in the third. That one overshot, picked up by Stinson, feeds Banks, and Banks takes it in and gets it back, having missed the initial shot over Irving, number 10.
Consecutive trips down the floor. Sam turns it over to transition baskets, and Sam is forced to call a timeout.
We're tied at 23. As we said, this is our last game on AISD-TV. We've had some good ones this year. We had the Bowie-Martin game on January 12th. Lamar-Martin back on the 26th of January. The Bowie-Viking contest on the 29th. The girls head into bi-district play next week, beginning on the 15th, and the boys with 2 more games left in the regular season. Sam Houston trying to go to 5-7. They'll have North Crowley and end the season here against Lamar. North Crowley leading the district as of this game. They have a 2-game lead over Martin. Both of those teams are set, as are the Volunteers of Bowie. In the backcourt, Mateo Irving inbounds to Marco Washington with 8 points tonight.
Need to settle down offensively, Sam, after a couple of turnovers, a third turnover in a row.
Intended for Masadi.
Well, they were not out of sort at all in the first half, but here to start the third, it looked good starting, but they have turned it over 3 times in a row.
Underneath, and that one won't go for Scoggin. And then Banks in a collision with Walter George and Marco Washington.
And a miss by Banks, and what looked like an easy opportunity. Would have been a 6-0 run, but Sam now with the biscuit.
Josh Bolden in, number 1. And here he is. Gets it back in the middle to George. Washington double teamed, off the dribble, in trouble, and a jump pass to Irving.
Sam's had a little bit of trouble with that double team.
Can't get inside though. George, and the bounce pass hit no one. Another Texan turnover.
Yeah, it almost was like George was a no-look trying to fool everybody, and no one was expecting it. Another Sam turnover.
The lob feed to McClendon, back out. Now here's Banks from 21, and a net cutter for Tony Banks. Team three-pointer number 3.
He's got 2 of them.
15 points for the 5'11 senior. And the Roos leading by 3. Walter George sends it over to Bolden. And Washington shut down by Scoggin. Well, Roos get it right back.
Yeah, this is uncharacteristic of the way Sam has played tonight.
Stinson on the drive and will go to the line for a pair.
And with the exception of one time down the floor, Weatherford has made baskets on every Sam turnover, and they have a chance here yet again, this time though from the line.
Kangaroos were 3 of 4 in foul shooting the first half. Walter George comes out. O.T. Hodge back in for the Texans. And this to give the Roos a 5-point lead. Biggest lead by either team now.
Well, Sam had a chance to build a 6-point lead just a couple of minutes ago, and it's quickly turned the other way.
Tyle Irving comes out. And Jimmy Wynn in number 4. And Wynn with a race to the ball, and Banks got to it first. Banks there.
Yeah, he just got out hustled. Wynn was kind of waiting to see what was going to happen. It was going to be over and back, but Banks just accelerated and beat him to the ball.
And now the lead at 7. The drive up in the air goes Washington, and Washington is hit.
Well, with the exception of Irving's bucket, Sam has turned it over every trip down the floor.
Jimmy Wynn from long range.
Wow.
Lights it up.
Well, a much-needed basket, and when you can nail a three-pointer from about 25 feet, nothing but net, that really is a good way to get your team fired up.
That one came from Collins. Stinson with a jump pass to Guest. Lance Guest pulls up. Waiting wide open, another chance, and Tyler Scoggin hit from behind. Yeah, and he'll have 2.
Yeah, this great position by Scoggin, and used his power just to be able to get that ball off to begin with. After a couple of opportunities, he was fouled, but it's a good effort by Tyler Scoggin.
Mansfield will replace Weatherford in the district next year. North Crowley and Pasco both stay. And the lead now is at 5.
Ideally, after that long 3, you want to play good defense and feed the hot hand again to win, and not surprised if he's not the guy they go to.
Scoggin cans them both. There's some contact underneath with Wynn and Irving. Washington gets inside. A leaping layup by Washington.
Which he did very effectively in the first half.
Weatherford leading by 4. Huang looking for McClendon. The Banks, little feed inside to Scoggin. In and out. There to save it is McClendon at 6'6".
Well, you've got to get in rebounding position. No one kept McClendon from getting an ideal position to put that one back through uncontested.
Can't let him get his mitts on it.
Got long arms.
Washington over Scoggin and misses. And then kicked out of bounds by Banks.
Yeah, that's hard to figure out. McClendon got the rebound. He just handed it to Banks, and he just basically dropped it out of bounds.
Trying to close the gap with under 2 minutes to go here in the third. Pulled up Jay by Irving. Mateo Irving.
Well, I like that when you're on the elbow and you kiss it off the glass, which is the more high percentage shot.
Well, he had 23 in that first game. And at 38, Guest sends it into Scoggin. Goes up, gets it back, is tied up. It'll be Sam Houston's ball.
Boy, Lane Guest, what a beautiful wraparound pass, though, as he spotted Scoggin. Oh, that was nicely done.
So the Texans down by 4. Win from Bolden. Sends it over to Hodge. And the drive and the layup short by Washington. Never got it over the rim.
Boy, Wynn was parked out uncontested for a 3, too. It would have been nice to be able to get it to him.
Minute 5, Lance Guest misses a 3. McClendon battles hard. And he'll go to the line.
Well, not only is he the tallest guy out there, but he's the longest guy out there. And Sam has not done a really good job of accounting for him on the glass.
And Cody McClendon at the stripe. He's 2 for 2.
Old school, too. That's some of the buddies I went to school with was wearing it like that back then.
It's Jimi Hendrix before the Monterey Pop Festival.
I'd take like 20% of what he has and be happy.
35-30. Thought you're going to say about 10%.
Yeah, 10 would work.
Connects on the second. Under a minute. Jimmy Wynn going to try to hit another 3. A little bit off. And who got to it first? Hodge. And then Huang and Wynn meet each other.
Yeah, and I still like that shot by Wynn. He didn't miss it by much, and you can tell he's a pure shooter just by the rotation and the arc of the ball. So keep feeding him and letting him jack it up.
Team foul number 4 on Weatherford. Sam's ball at side court. Yeah, should be, well, who has it? When it went off of, one official says Weatherford, the other said Sam.
I don't think either coach knows what they've even called or what's going on.
I don't think anyone was assessed a foul, or were they? It went out of bounds. And with 40.6 to go, Weatherford holding on to a 6-point lead. And a foul has been assessed. And for Sam Houston, it's the 4th.
Well, the explanation from the official is the clock never started and Blue had the ball, Weatherford.
Well, now it shows 38-3, so no foul.
Yeah, so the clock just didn't start was what the situation was.
He indicated a foul as they went over the scorer's table, but that wasn't the case. Well, there's one, a little chest bump applied by O.T. Hodge. Number 3 meeting number 3. That is a 4th on the Texans. Tony Banks still in the backcourt. There's another one.
Well, that's an illegal pick set by Cody McClendon.
McClendon, really, yeah.
Got to believe he could play tight end for the Kangaroos.
Now he's got to go on defense. It's Sam's ball. And a chance with a 2 to cut it to 4. 7 seconds. O.T. Hodge. Back to Marco Washington. Lost it. Picked up. And no time for a shot. We'll go to the 4th. Weatherford leading Sam Houston 36-30 on AISD-TV. Set to go here in the 4th quarter. 36-30, the Kangaroos on top. They trailed at halftime 21-19. And Lance Guest giving the pill and inbounds to Ty Huang. Working on Wynn. Buckley's back in there, number 34. Here he is. Got the handoff and scores on the feed from McClendon.
Well, McClendon mishandled it, but somehow got it back and over to Buckley.
And now the lead at 8.
Sam just offensively needs to get in any kind of rhythm, which they have not had at all here in the second half.
Josh Bolden feeds Jimmy Wynn.
Wynn got him kind of started with a big 3-pointer when they were starting to lag behind.
And a 3 fired up and missed by O.T. Hodge.
Now a stop defensively is something Sam needs, and maybe an easy transition basket to get him going.
Buckley behind McClendon. And a whistle and a kick. So the ball kicked at Sam Houston's possession. Tyler Scoggin, number 5, 6'4" senior forward in. The fouls, the Weatherford Kangaroos have collected 6. The Texans have been hit with 4.
McClendon checking out and not real happy about it.
8 points he has. Marco Washington up top. And from the left wing, the miss. And then the push underneath. Lance Guest, Banks, and also O.T. Hodge in the mix. Again, Weatherford coming off a loss to the district champion North Crowley Eagles, 68-47. Sam Houston defeating Pascal in their last game, 44-41. The handoff to Banks. Here's Guest. And Guest hit by Bolden. That's the 6th team foul on Sam Houston. Jimmy Wynn comes out.
Well, he had the baseline, and really there's nothing more, but Bolden had to just cut him off or he would have been an easy deuce. And another foul.
There's
far
the
away
7th.
from the basket.
He had just checked in, James Barfield, and now sends Weatherford to the line with a 1-and-1.
Yeah, they've been pretty good at the line so far tonight, too.
9 of 10 in foul shooting. And Ty Huang, a little 5'7" junior, will have the bonus.
And that's a pretty important point. Of course, Sam will be in the 1-and-1 on the next foul, but this game is still pretty tight, and foul shooting is going to be key.
That free throw right there just made it a 4-possession game.
Yeah, there's lots of time, but with Sam's offense kind of in disarray. There you go.
Mattia Irving underneath.
You can break the pressure defense, and you can get a guy cutting the basket like Irving, and you can get the ball to him. Got an easy deuce.
Weatherford leading by 8. Tai Huang going to take it in and partially blocked.
Yeah, not a very good shot selection.
In traffic, they hand off, and the miss underneath by O.T. Hodge. Sam gets it right back. James Barfield misses long range. Still loose. Marco Washington able to get to it. In the corner. Almost went back in. The recovery underneath by Irving.
Well, that's just really nice effort and hustle by Sam to get 4 opportunities, just really getting after the basketball.
And a hole away from the ball on Weatherford. It's on Buckley. And that's the 7th. You think there's some second guessing going on?
Well, this is...
Buckley comes out. McClendon back in.
Sam just trying to get a little momentum going on a couple of trips down the floor.
Top of the key, now a quick handoff to O.T. Hodge. Hodge has a three-pointer tonight. Washington gets another look, and off the fingertips with Irving, gets it back and misses. And Lance Guest rim high with a rebound.
Almost lost it, got the shot off, looked pretty good.
Huang hands off to McClendon, who's jarred loose, gets it back, and big Cody McClendon converts.
Yeah, he's got to be in the game. He's just too much of an X factor out there. He is just really plays with some intensity.
He's in double figures now with 10. The lead at 8. Irving circles in the corner to Washington. 4:23 to go.
Sam does not need to be impatient.
O.T. Hodge, Rip City. His second 3.
4th overall by Sam.
Tai Huang lights it up. Good stroke by the junior.
Well, that's the great equalizer when you can answer a 3 with one of your own.
45-37, right back come the Texans, and a missed 3 by Hodge.
Well, it didn't miss by much, and he felt like he had the hot hand, so he kept going at it.
And a timeout taken by Weatherford. That stops it with 3:39 left to play. Want to recognize some of the Sam Houston Texans on National Signing Day who signed letters of intent. Kabian Barron, Siraj Malal, LaJuan Cooper, Bernard Lewis, Noah Newhouse, Peyton Pickett, Cecil Robertson, Tato Sapilli, Reginald Stubblefield, and Eric Ward. Eric Ward going to Air Force.
Wow.
And Maya Aday in soccer going to A&M Commerce. Barron and Malal go to Tyler Junior College. Peyton Pickett, the running back, headed to UMass.
Good timeout by Charles Tatum, and they pay dividends on it.
Wide open McClendon. Big bucket.
Well, you like to have a good play set up out of a timeout that's executed.
Masadi and gets rid of it. Walter George and Lance Guest and throws it away. Washington with a steal, and then the collision. Is it a block or a charge? It's a charge. Offensive foul.
Well, Guest.
James Barfield, a junior, and misses. Who has it? McClendon. Able to tap it to his teammate, Tony Banks. Well, the Texans will now have lost 5 in a row. Or rather, will have lost 5 of their last 6. Came in with a win over Pascal. Long shovel pass, waiting, going up as Scoggins is hit hard. Also friendly fire.
Well, when you get penetration like Wong did and you draw attention to yourself, it's an easy dish off. Defenders then have to go back and try to stop the shot by Scoggin, and normally you're going to foul the guy.
A little short on the first, but they still lead by 12. Texans will fall to 4-8 in district play. Weatherford will go to 4-8. Came in averaging 56. They put 52 on the board. Entry pass, the step around shot, the miss, the recovery by Irving. His 15th point. And a quick timeout taken by the Texans with 1:14 to go, but they have already committed 10 fouls.
Well, the reality is that Chris LeGrand said that Sam needed to win 2 of their last 3 games. And winning tonight here at home was one that he was hoping would happen. But now the situation is he needs to win the next 2 against Lamar and North Crowley. And those are not going to be easy tasks, but it's still right there in front of him. As disappointed as he might be in this loss, particularly after a pretty decent first half by the Texans.
Yeah, Lamar beat Sam in their first meeting 57-40. So we'll see what commences here in the next minute and 14 seconds. Weatherford pretty confident. Well, they're getting an early start in the stands for next August volleyball.
Sam's going to have to take some chances defensively, which normally means if they don't pay off, they're going to there'll be a foul.
Backcourt, it's loose.
There's one right there.
Irving has it. It's a drive by Washington and a foul by Scoggin. And a basket and one for Marco Washington.
Well, the worst case scenario by Weatherford has just happened. Sam pressured, they got the turnover, and now a basket and one opportunity with the clock stopped.
And Washington, a perfect 5 of 5 in foul shooting. It's 52-43. They pressure Banks, and then the bump and the double bonus upcoming for Tony Banks. Yeah. He'll have 2 following the Texan foul.
Yeah, and the guy that hasn't missed tonight and the one that you don't want at the stripe. Like I said that Weatherford may have only missed one. They missed a couple tonight, but that's still pretty darn good.
And Banks remains perfect. 6 of 6 and 22 points. And this for a 10-point lead and a 4-possession game. Dead solid perfect. Under a minute to go. Got to get it to Jimmy Wynn. There he is on its way. It's up high. Who has it? Guessed, or rather, Scoggin got it. Ahead to Huang. Tai Huang finish off the break and finishes off Sam.
That was a nice out. Banks was being pinned in and just threw it downfield and right into Wong.
And the whistle. And now all the way down at the other end.
Well, and a chance for Weatherford to kind of clear their bench too. Kenny Cantrell and then this senior here, Keyshawn Green.
Keyshawn Green at the line and not enough on it. He'll have another one, but Weatherford will pick up its 4th district win, only its 8th overall victory. So he's in the scoring book.
Obviously
and they're happy about it.
Yeah, very popular at that, for sure.
Jimmy Wynn on Banks with 15 seconds, and Washington really walloped as soon as he let it go from about 25. And a 3-shot foul upcoming for Marco Washington. He paid for it, but we'll take the free throws.
Well, I'm assuming that Green may not play much, so the popularity of him, and so in the excitement, he's just going to get his money's worth.
2 more for Washington, playing his last, or next to the last game at home. 15 points for the senior. 1 more, 3 for 3 from the line with 14 seconds. And they'll pull it out with 8, and then the contact by Barfield. Kenny Cantrell will take a couple of free throws.
Another guy that gets a chance to get in the scoring book.
6-foot senior, and 1 more. Missed them both, but waiting for it underneath is Scoggin. And Cantrell with 1 second will weave his way around the Texan defense, and that will do it as Weatherford takes both games from Sam Houston this year. Total up the books here. I got Tony Banks unofficially with 23 points. Is that what you have?
Yep, sure do.
Cody McClendon finished with 12. For Sam Houston, Matthias Irving had 15. Marco Washington had 16, the 2 leading scorers tonight for the Texans. But Jim, a must-win scenario for Sam Houston coming into tonight. They felt pretty good coming off a win over Pascal, only to lose by 10. They now fall to 4-8 in the district, and the task is tough, facing the district champion North Crowley squad, and then Lamar here at Sam Houston.
Yeah, tough assignment, no doubt. And after what was looking like a pretty promising first half, John, and they had a nice fourth quarter in terms of scoring as well. It's just that third quarter they never really could offensively get into a rhythm, and the separation by Weatherford ultimately just led to them winning this by 10.
Outscored 17-9 in that third period. Well, this wraps up our AISD-TV production sports schedule this year. Volleyball, football, and basketball. Once again, our final score, Weatherford 57, Sam Houston 47. Our outstanding production crew all season long. It started in September all the way through February. Weatherford wins it by 10. For Jim Staples, this is John Nelson saying good night from Sam Houston.